All right, sorry, we're back. So last week we talked about our friend here, coworker Vince, who did an awesome piece. We're going to talk about the MK Collective today, which you can also, if you have fan art or what that sort of thing, you hashtag MK Collective. You put it on Twitter, you put it on those sort of things. We'll retweet it, and we've seen so much amazing fan art. That said, people in this studio are also fans of the game. So real quick, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Vince Wilder, and I'm a senior character artist here at NetherRealm.
Awesome. Vince, you created, if you want to, Derek, let him hold that for you. You don't want to give it to him?
No, I love it. He's awesome.
That's fine.
Okay, so Vince created a Baraka bust out of 3D printing. Explain kind of what you do. We do actually have some pictures we can show as well along with the story. So.
Yes, definitely. So I was fortunate enough to actually create the high-resolution sculpture. We had a really great design for him this game, so I was super excited. And,
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's staggeringly cool.
As soon as I saw it, I said, I would like to buy one of these. How many do you have?
one.
They take a little bit of time.
So I will take this one then.
So real quick, from start to finish, how long would something like... I'll let you show them on the camera over here. I know. How long from start to finish are we talking about for this?
Well, the printing process, probably about 2 days. Probably about 12 hours per piece. And he was composed of mainly 2 pieces, the base and the torso. I actually printed the teeth separately as well, but probably about a day worth of printing. And then probably another 2 or 3 days worth of painting.
What kind of material is it?
It's actually like a polymer plastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's start those pictures we have and kind of go through. So what's this first step here?
Yeah, so this is straight fresh out of the printer. You can see it still has the supports on it. So once it comes out of the printer, you obviously remove the supports and you put it, actually you cure it under UV light for about a couple hours. And what that does is really harden the surface, so it is ready. Pretty much, yeah.
Nice. All right, next shot.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
So at this point, I've had all the pieces printed, and I assembled them all and actually primed them to get it prepared for the actual paint job.
Okay.
And this here is when I started to work up the skin. So I started working the color zones with yellow, red, and blue. And a lot of that stuff ends up kind of getting washed out on the skin, but you want to have that underneath to kind of be a very convincing kind of a realistic skin surface in the end.
All right, next.
Oh, and
this is the fun one. This is interesting.
Yeah, so he's kind of crudely masked off with some plastic and actually some silly putty. I found that silly putty was a really great masking material and really enabled you to get really clean lines with each surface.
So did you just buy a bunch of silly putty eggs?
Yeah, actually, a good friend of mine and coworker, Ian Nod, actually bought all that silly putty for some projects of his, and I had to steal that from him to
Copying
use.
comics.
Yeah. Copying comics in the newspapers, Sunday papers.
That Ian.
Yep. So yeah, after as you can see, I'm kind of peeling away the silly putty there, revealing all the kind of base colors on each surface, and still kind of working up all the colors. So at this point, this is pretty close towards the final product, with many different passes of color variation and kind of weathering. There's some metal pieces on there, so I used some metallic paints to kind of sell that surface.
Now, what makes me mad is we talk to you, like, you're an artist, like, you're not just a game artist, but you're also an artist, and you've had art shows and whatnot. They haven't really painted like this before, and this is kind of your first go at it, and it looks like this. It looks this good.
Thank you. That's the first time I ever really had a real go at kind of painting that realistic kind of skin, and I think it was pretty successful.
It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
Can we go back to that one shot, one more to the final lightbox shot? Just so I can give it, that's your Instagram. So you do a lot of just kind of sculpture
Art.
at home.
Yes. Oh yeah, a whole lot of it. It's pretty
And
much my life.
I went to look at it to make sure it was cool, and so make sure there's nothing weird. And then I realized that it's all weird because it's all monsters
I
and
take
stuff.
that as a compliment.
Congratulations on all the weirdness on your Instagram.
Thank you, and shout out to JT for getting me those photographs. He did a great job.
Those are really awesome photographs. So, Vince, I just wanted to let you tell the fans about kind of your love of creating art based on Mortal Kombat as well, and we have this amazing bust to show for it.
And you're taking pre-orders for these now, right?
Oh,
yes.
God.
It is super impressive. Like up close, it's amazing.
It's really impressive to look at, and like, oh my lord, if there were pre-orders, it's like, well, this is all I do now.
This is it. I'm done.
So awesome! Thank you so much.
Is there any other characters that you're thinking about doing next, or?
Yeah, there might be a couple down the line.
Nice.
Devora.
Ooh.
You like the weird creatures.
Yeah.
I may have made a Devora, maybe.
Ooh.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see it.
So that's it. That is his Instagram page. Vince, thank you so much for stopping by and
Yeah,
just
thank you.
showing us this awesome piece of work. The day you brought it in, I was like, we got it. I mean, it's gonna show up on one of these shelves here shortly, I think. If you're cool with that for a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
that's pretty much why I made it.
This guy.
Oh.
This guy, friend of the Kombat Cast now, forever. Awesome. Let's put up a picture of our next character that we're going to show, and we'll be right back.